So it's come down to this. Tonight, I guess the spoilers are already out, just like I said. Go to lunch, and first thing I do is find out that Daniel Bryan has been stripped of his WWE Championship. Although he was not over there at the O2 Arena in order to hand over the belt to Stephanie McMahon after she stripped him of the championship. Basically, Stephanie said she wanted to see Daniel Bryan lose in the ring, but since he's not able to do this because he's not able to physically wrestle, she's asking Daniel Bryan to show up next week on Raw and hand over the belt so she can see the look on his face as he loses the championship. Now, this is basically reliving the beginning of this angle, or maybe the middle. I always like to go back and say that, we've been watching Daniel Bryan on the rise to this WrestleMania 30. Basically from, WrestleMania 28 when he loses to Sheamus in a matter of seconds. And then we, thought that basically he was done. But then they put him into that series of matches with CM Punk, and that escalated into them doing the whole thing with AJ. And then, basically Kane got involved, which became Team Hell No with Dr. Shelby, where that got rolled into Daniel Bryan being able to beat Kane, being able to live on, and beat the Shield and everything like that and become that forefront player that he is today. But basically, after SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan beat Randy Orton, and I believe Night of Champions, got to live one night as the champion, and came to Monday Night Raw only to get stripped with, Triple H saying that, that he had paid off the referee, the jig was up, everybody was onto him, and even though we never really got a finalization on what that angle was, the referee got suspended, and then he just sort of came back one day, and it was just like no big deal. And we all know that, he was, tricked into saying that by the authority, but we never really found out what he got out of that in order to sort of join the authority, and he never really became the Nick Patrick referee of the NWO. He never was like that heel guy. He just went back to being just a normal referee. So, it is what it is. But, basically all of us thought, back at WrestleMania 28, Daniel Bryan lost the big match. He's done. Basically, he'll never really find a spot again. He won the championship at SummerSlam. He got cashed in on. He, beat Randy Orton. He got stripped again, and, everybody thought the same thing. Daniel Bryan's going to, live on. I think that, they don't really make guys, the WWE champion and then, have him blow up and then go out to nothing. I know that, really, Sheamus has been the world heavyweight champion, and ever since that one run and he sort of went flat, he hasn't really got back to that point yet. But I'm sure there's going to be a time and a place. But, Daniel Bryan, he's, a big-time star. Everybody's buying his merchandise. Everybody's watching him on Total Divas. I think that he is a star. I mean, I really do think that, not that many guys get to close out WrestleMania. And I know that there's going to be people out there throwing out names like The Miz. The Miz, got the walk out of WrestleMania as the champion, but he wasn't the one guy that everybody was thinking about. Everybody was thinking about the big rock bottom by The Rock. It was almost like The Rock was the winner of WrestleMania 27, which led to WrestleMania 28 with the challenge, and then, Rock beating Cena, and then going to WrestleMania 29 and Cena actually beating Rock. And one day The Rock will finally be able to use in his number one contendership and get his rematch, but we'll have to see when that day comes. But it is a surprise, although I haven't heard a official report saying how Daniel Bryan's neck is. Normally you hear that guys come back and say they have a full bill of health and they'll be back in a little bit. That news comes out very soon. Daniel Bryan said that he was resting up at home, and since he was home, he was going to watch Brie and her bachelorette party on Total Divas, sort of giving that sort of a little bit of a plug and giving it a little bit of a wink. But, he hasn't really said that he's going to be back in a certain amount of time, so now we just have to play the waiting game and see what happens from here. So, Stephanie McMahon's going to take the title away. Now, we have to sit here and wait and say, when's Bryan coming back? Is he going to be thrown right into a match that's going to, crown that champion? I think the rumors of Kane's, last retirement match at Payback, I think those rumors have died down. Who knows where Kane's even going to end up? Is Kane going to be the number one contender? Or since basically, they don't have time to put this on Payback and it's going to go to the next pay-per-view, which is, I think it's Battleground. But if I'm a little bit mixed up on my pay-per-views, I apologize. But is it, are they just going to do a normal one-on-one match? Is it going to be a two-on-one since maybe Batista's not there? Maybe you can do Orton and Triple H against him, either a triangle match or maybe make it a two-on-one sort of I don't know, elimination match or a handicap match, something like that, something to stack the odds. To me, it sucks. I wanted to see Daniel Bryan have a real good long, run. I know that there's rumors out there that, maybe Brock Lesnar will beat him at SummerSlam, but then if he does beat him at SummerSlam, shouldn't Brock Lesnar get a long, title run out of that? But then again, you can only have Lesnar for so many dates. And, the big thing about Lesnar beating Taker is you make Lesnar like this huge, big star that everybody cares about. But, if you win a title, it's almost like Ric Flair. Yeah, Rick, you've been the world champion 16 times, but that means you've also lost the championship 16 times. You got to be the champion to lose the thing. So, does Lesnar just have a big win at SummerSlam and then come around Night of Champions? He's already lost it. That sort of sucks to be him, and it also takes the all the momentum out of him beating Undertaker. So it's almost like you need that sort of a champion that's like Lesnar, who's there as like. It's almost like AJ's Divas Championship run. You want her to run through everybody, and then you sort of can build up another sort of like Daniel Bryan guy who pops up out of the woodwork. Like, this guy's been champion for so long, and we've seen everybody go out there and give it their best all, but nobody's been able to beat him. You almost have to have like at least 8-9 month run of like we've thrown everything, and then finally like the underdog comes in and he's the guy who's able to step up to the plate. Even though the big names have been able not to deliver, this one guy just finds a way, and he's the guy who wins who's able to beat him, and then you just go on from there. I know there's 1,000 ways to book wrestling, but that's always been a fun way for me. AJ just beat everybody to the point of like everybody's already had a chance to step up to the plate. Do you want to go through a second run of everybody? It's almost like with Paige right now. She's starting at the lower levels and she'll work her way up to the top. But hopefully they'll learn with their mistakes from AJ and not have her just run through the whole thing. And then maybe that's why the Divas, they just sort of give up and leave. Is because they've done it all and they do it in a sort of short period of time. We don't get a chance to really love them all the way until they are gone. But I don't know. I think it honestly sucks. I think that was one of my best moments I've ever seen in wrestling. Daniel Bryan winning the belts. I remember I hugged Miguel. I hugged Justin. And I really wanted to do it. I knew that basically, there's always that one thing. Like, I sort of sometimes feel a little bit selfish when I go on these wrestling trips, but there's always that one thing that I can hang my hat on. Like, one of the first trips I ever went on was SummerSlam 2010, and I really wanted to go to that show because of how much I loved Nexus, and I wanted to see the Nexus, beat them down to WWE, and then see where they were able to go from there. They weren't able to win that one, but that was the one match that I had to see, and it sucked that Cena beat those guys. And I know that we've sort of gone over that with the Edge and Jericho talking about the fact that Cena had to step up to the plate and say that he wanted to win that match instead of lose it. And it is what it is. But I had to see The Rock win the title at the Royal Rumble. I had to see Bryan beat Cena. It's just those moments that they're going to be huge. And Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30 is a moment that you can never take away from me. You can never take away from him. That was so awesome. No matter where we go from here, the guy who closed out WrestleMania 30 is Daniel Bryan. And that's one of the biggest wrestling moments I've ever seen. And to think that, here we are, I guess it's over a month and a half later, and he's not champion anymore because of a neck injury. That sucks. But then again, you can't go a long period of time without having championship matches on WWE pay-per-view. Because even though you're not going for buys anymore, you're going for a reason people want to watch. And if you don't have a belt, that's what wrestling is all basically related around. So we'll have to see what goes from there. Peace out, everybody. Have fun.